Welcome to the Low Carb Athlete Podcast, where we focus on discussing topics to help you burn fat, optimize health, and improve performance in life and sports. Transform the whole you from the inside out with the holistic method. Let's dive in. Here's your host, Debbie Potts.
Hey, it's Debbie, and before we get started on our guest today, I want to share with you a new sleep supplement that I've been experimenting with my evening stack to help optimize my sleep, and it's by one of my favorite companies that I partner with, Kion. Kion has a new sleep supplement that I have been stacking with my magnesium from BioOptimizers and with Kion aminos. And test and not guess is always my saying. And I've been using my Aura ring to track my sleep score to see if what I'm taking at nighttime helps improve my deep sleep REM, readiness, and HRV score the next day, as well as staying asleep through the night because I've been tending to toss and turn a little bit more. So this is really important to work on sleep. We want to recover, repair, and restorative sleep is really important for us to get in during the night so we feel our best self for the next day. So the new sleep supplement from Kion targets these neurotransmitter GABA and serotonin, and they help us fall asleep faster, stay asleep, get better quality sleep so we wake up feeling refreshed. The result is based on 40 years of research that Kion has gone through on sleep. And they created this high quality raw ingredient supplement that is really making amazing results for different people's sleep. So if you want to try it out, head to Kion. You can use our code to save 20%. Low Carb Athlete is our code. And you can work on adding in Kion aminos to help your sleep as well. And maybe check out the BioOptimizers sleep stack that I've been using. They're magnesium with the Kion aminos and Kion sleep. So let me know if your sleep is improving with a little tryptophan, L-theanine, and a little GABA support. So take 3 capsules before bed, about 30 minutes, and see how your sleep hygiene routine is going, what you're doing before bed, if you're getting that time to unwind and creating a dark room, a cold room, getting off those blue light devices before bed, stop eating 3 hours before bed, and really taking time to even do some stretching, doing some gratitude, maybe some journaling and unwinding, and maybe even a little bit of a shower before bed or an Epsom salt bath. So let's work on prioritizing our sleep and test out the new supplement from Kion Sleep to go with your sleep hygiene habits. It's also how you start the day in the morning as well as how you end the day to optimize that sleep wake cycle. So get up in the morning and see that sunrise and work on your winding down routine at night to go with this supplement. Let me know how it works for you. Use Low Carb Athlete to save on your Kion products. Hello. I'm just going to stop sharing this. I'm super excited to talk about this subject I've been diving into a lot lately about how to make today the best day ever. What if you could start each day with setting the intentions that today is going to be the best day ever, to have positive energy, positive vibes, and really just glow all day and help other people be happy and smile and laugh and have a good day as well, because it's contagious when you're smiling, right? Did I make you smile? So I am diving into some articles that I want to share with you on how to make today the best day ever and tomorrow the best day ever. So every day is going to be the best day ever. One thing I looked at is an article by Sean Wells and Huberman Lab, of course, because they've got a gazillion podcasts on sleep optimization and sleep toolkit and how to start your day. And then I found an article on sunlight, because I'm always asking the why as I become more of a health investigator, as I get older and wiser. I always ask why. Why do we need to wake up and see the sun within 1 hour of waking?
Why do we need to stop eating 3 hours before bed? Why do we need to do a gratitude journal? So always ask why, but let's look at how to build a good morning routine by Shawn Wells, who I love reading his posts and articles and great infographics. He does so much work just out of love for people. And he is an ingredientologist. He formulates supplements, and he's very well educated. And you can go back and find the podcast we did together. And the last one was on his new book out last year or 2 years ago. So how do you build a good morning routine? So to start the day off right, one, make your bed, right? You're supposed to make your bed, don't check your email, get up and get outside. So some tips that Shawn Wells shared: one change at a time helps you make realistic changes and see what actually works for you. Keep a new habit up, keep it up for several weeks, make it part of your daily routine. If this works for you and adds benefit, then add that thing as part of your routine. Once you've made that practice part of your routine, and then add other things in one at a time. So I call this layering. Start with one thing. Don't try to do 10 new things at once. Pick one thing, because it gets overwhelming when you listen to podcasts and read articles and social media. Like, oh, I'm going to do all of this. And you do it, and then you quit after a day or a week or 3 weeks, right? So pick one thing you learn from even this episode today and what you can implement tomorrow morning. So as Shawn writes, if you were to try everything at once, you'd have no idea what's working, what's not working, and you may actually get stressed from all these things. So try to do one thing and see what the effect is. And I agree with that. Example, in our household, we're trying to do the sauna at night, do some yin yoga, stretching, doing the research-based 30-second stretching, 3 circuits, doing that 4 nights a week. And then I like to write in my gratitude journal. And then I read at least 3 pages. I also obviously need to brush my teeth and wash my face and do my cleanser, face mask sometimes a week. Now, if I try to do all that, I need to leave some time before that. I always have finished work, and then there's dishes to do, laundry to do, all those kind of chores. And then if we go to the gym before that, it just makes things too hectic. So you kind of have to pick your priorities and not do what last night I decided I won't do the sauna tonight because I have to do dishes and this and that and get ready for the next day. And that was stressing me out, trying to do too much at once. So even though the sauna is beneficial, the stretching is beneficial, my gratitude journal, my breathing exercises, all these different things that can be stacks are beneficial. But if you're trying to do too much and it's overwhelming and it was giving me anxiety and stressing me out, I had to give something up. I couldn't do all of those things. So you need to kind of pay attention. And when you're working out on your ideal day, more is not better. Less is more is my mantra. Okay. So let's go back to Shawn's article. How does Shawn Wells wake up every morning? So one way of waking brings you joy and a sense of calm as you wake up. And one way jolts you awake with a cortisol rush, fight or flight, which you're in sympathetic, get up and run from that line, and stress. Choose the best way to start your day. So we want to make sure we wake up with joy, sense of calm, not feeling stressed and anxious. I'm being attacked. I'm rushing. And you have that, what I used to have before my old self. I was living life as a race, as my book is called. And I was getting up in the morning and rushing through the day until I hit the pillow that night. So learn from my mistakes. Setting yourself up the best sleep schedule will bring you joy and happiness in the day. So stress and sleep are part of the holistic method because all these elements impact one another. So if you wake up stressed, you're not going to have the best day ever. So how you start the day is really important. So Shawn's talking here, choose the best way to start your day. So when designing your morning, Shawn says in his article, think about the light you're exposed to and whether you wake up and see something that brings you joy. Incorporate some type of breathing exercise or meditation. You don't have to jump straight out of bed. Take a few extra minutes. And this is a good time, as I was talking to Rhonda Collier about doing HRV testing with the heart rate strap. You have to get up, put the strap on, but lie down and then stack that HRV testing with your 5 minutes of meditation. Use that time meditating that you're focusing on your breath. So meditative breathing. Or, get up and make your coffee like I do. So you can use some deep breathing techniques, slow your heart rate, think about your day, and have gratitude. Consider starting a daily gratitude journal, which I do, but I like to do it at night because I get up and I like to get moving. And that makes me happy. So I think that's acceptable. So map out your day, determine your priorities, and make a plan. So you can even work backwards and ask yourself at the end of the day, what do I want to have accomplished? You may want to plan your day that night before, so you start the day with a plan when you open your eyes. So for me, I like to set my intentions up when I write my journal. I write 3 things I'm grateful for. The last 60 days, I've been working on a manifest journal that someone gave me for Christmas. Great gift. Find them on Amazon. But I also was setting my intentions up for the next day. And I think this is helpful to carve out your day. So the next day, I know what I'm doing. I know when I'm exercising. I have my clients that I coach full-time on their holistic method coaching and their health investigation program. I'm working on Sundays. Let's carve out your week. Plug in when you're working out because you might be traveling or have a meeting or have the kids for some sports or whatever might happen. So plan the week out, but then each night know what the next day is going to be like. So setting your intentions for the next day, that night, or that morning. Okay, back to the article. You may want to own the day, not have the day own you. Love that, right? So waking up 5 to 10 minutes earlier would allow you to try on morning blue light during the winter or an overcast day, or sunbathing or grounding by lying or standing on the grass. Taking a walk with your dog or your spouse or significant other is a great way to start the day with fresh air and sunshine. As you drive into work, if you still do that, listening to some energizing, uplifting music or inspirational podcast. My pleasant voice. You can listen to me. That constructive and positive to spark your creative juices. Now, some podcasts, Sean says, are short as 3 minutes. Get rid of the excuses that are creating barriers. So, less is more. Again, scripting your day, both at the beginning and at the end of the day, can help make you feel successful. You might try scheduling something the following day that you look forward to. It can be simple as scheduling a haircut or cooking out with friends and family. Might be scheduling lunch date or phone call with a friend that you haven't talked to for a while. Setting your circadian rhythm is important both mornings and when traveling. So back to sunlight. Go outside, get some sunlight. Outside time also aids in melatonin production. We'll go into that. Food is an important driver of circadian rhythm. He also talks about a good morning ritual is to eat breakfast or drink some coffee to help get that internal clock going. You're supposed to wait 2 hours after waking to have your coffee because of the natural rise in cortisol. So wait for that coffee. I make it in the morning and I do the dishes and get ready. I like 30 minutes before we leave to go to the gym because it gives me time to get awake and set my intentions for the day in a moving fashion. I don't like just lying there. So once I'm awake, I get up and go. But I don't like being rushed because that gives me anxiety. So I give 30 minutes. So I wake up a little earlier so I don't have to rush until we leave to the gym at a certain time. So for you, kind of figure that out. Now, back to Sean's article, looking at setting your circadian rhythm. It also is a cold shower in the morning, getting your head thoroughly wet. Do a full shower, but going from warm shower to cold, 30 seconds is a good start. I like doing the alternating hot cold shower. I'm not very good at cold. I'm a warm weather person. Why I moved to San Diego, even though it's cold here right now. But ending your shower cold for 30 seconds is a good way to wake up. Get your head under the water, at least during your neck. Now, you can reduce systemic inflammation and neural inflammation, brain fog, feel more alert, increase metabolism via the brown adipose tissue, cellular energy with enhanced mitochondrial function, and more with the cold shower. Or cold plunge if you're really brave. A lot of people are buying those. It's a good investment in your health. It costs a lot of money, or you can just do cold shower. I know our shower goes super cold right now in the winter, but you don't need the coffee. You feel great. So cold burst is a great way to start your day, or go jump in the lake or the ocean. Another good tip to start your day, make it the best day ever. Sean talks about old school, writing handwritten thank you note, email or text, but I think just an old school letter is really nice to get in the mail. So I just actually mailed someone a thank you card instead of texting them. I sent them a card, showed my gratitude for something they did for me. And it feels good to send something off. So as he goes on in this article saying relationships are a huge part to happy, successful life and critical to your well-being and the feeling like you have a purpose on this planet. Your life will feel 100 times better if you surround yourself with the right people, right? And I often work with that with clients, that you want to identify, with chronic stress in your environment could be toxic people, and they could be, and I had this happen with me with a client that ended up causing me a real big setback in my health because she was really stressful to me, constant stress and a lot of work and toxic. And those people in your life, they're toxic energy robbers. Sometimes you need to eliminate them. Sadly, it's just not good for your health. So you have to put the oxygen mask on first, so to speak, to make yourself better, and find people that make you happy and thrive each day is another way to make today the best day ever. Instead of having, working at home and just being by yourself all day, that I think COVID made us comfortable staying at home, working at home. Maybe you don't go to the gym, you're just alone all the time. And I do not think that's healthy. I think we need to be around people. There's a reason I go to master swim class at 11:45 to 1:00, 4 days a week, because I need to be around my people and smile and have fun and chat. I can't stay home and work on a computer. Plus my previous life, I was training people, being in a gym, personal training and coaching people all day, 12 hours a day. I was around people. So to me, it's a little odd. New life we have for a lot of us, being on a Zoom call and me talking to a computer right now. It's a new way of living. So it's really important to make extra effort to surround people in your life that you are enjoying to be around. They make you happy. And for me, I need to make plans. So I have plans this weekend. Last weekend, I didn't make a lot of social plans, but I have to make an effort to schedule time with people that we like to know a little bit more, new friends, because we live in a new place. I come from Seattle, where I lived most of my life. And now near North San Diego, I have to make extra effort to make plans. We could hibernate at home and not be around people. But, if I want to be happy, it's not just being with Neil and Debbie show 24/7. We need to have people in our life. So that's a good thing that Sean said. I think that's a big part of post-pandemic life. We need to make more of an effort to surround ourselves with people that are positive energy and make us feel good. Okay, so another thing he talks about in the morning, hug or kiss someone that you love. Physical touch validates the oxytocin hormone, goes up. Cortisol stress goes down when you hold hands, hug, kiss someone, show someone you care. So this is an infographic on recognizing the symptoms of stress and the effects on the body. You can go to my website, debbiepotts.net. What is the ideal day blog that I'm reading? Recognizing symptoms of stress. I just want to touch on this a moment, because part of creating the ideal day and optimizing your sleep is related to stress, as I said. And if you are a stressed out, anxious person, there are free things that you can do, as we're talking about morning sunlight, sending thank you cards, writing gratitude journals, all these things you can do to set the day for success up ahead of you. So teeth grinding, apathy, trouble concentrating, anger, anxiety, headaches, muscle tension, stomach problems, skin irritations, decreased sex drive, fatigue, those can be all symptoms of stress. Now, what are the effects on the body? We can look at this chart and go, okay, mood issues, including anger, depression, irritability, lack of energy, concentration, blood pressure, immune system, stomach cramps, reflux, nausea, loss of libido, lower sperm count, increased period pain for women, aches and pains, slow recovery, poor bone density, the list goes on. So stress impacts everything. So what can you do to lower stress is how we optimize our sleep and how we start and end our day. So basically, keep it simple. Sean has good reminder. Your routine doesn't have to include all these things that we talked about today. It can include 1, 2, or 10 things. It can be 10 minutes into your day or 2 hours. So again, I think less is more is not better. Whatever works for you is fine. He talks about, but finding that one thing, that's something that helps put you in a great mood, sets you up for joy and a happy day, being more relaxed, being that parasympathetic state to start your day, instead of waking up and feel like, I'm stressed out. I'm worked up. I'm anxious. I've got that cortisol overly high. Remember, it's naturally high in the morning, but hyper is not better. More is not better. Cortisol is that optimal amount, the highest part of cortisol of your day. If you listen to my Dutch test podcast with Dr. Kelly, we talk about that. It should be lowest at night when you're trying to go to sleep. So how you start the day is good for that melatonin and cortisol. So I put some information, which all comes out weird when I share my blog, but toolkit Huberman Lab has. Great article. Viewing sunlight by going outside within 30 to 60 minutes of waking. Do that in the late afternoon prior to sunset. If you wake up before the sun is out, you want to be awake, turn on artificial lights, and go outside once the sun rises. On bright, cloudless days, view morning and afternoon sun for 10 minutes. Cloudy days, 20 minutes. Very overcast days, 30 to 60 minutes. If you live someplace with very minimal light, consider artificial daytime simulator source. Do not wear sunglasses for this practice. If you can safely not wear sunglasses, you can wear contact lenses, and eyeglasses are fine, but you don't need to look directly at the sun. You don't want to look any light directly into a bright light. It's not good for your eyes if it's painful. So you can wear a brimmed hat, sunglasses, and remain in the shade and expect to wake up your circadian rhythm, he said. So good example this morning. I go to the gym in the morning, and then I go run or for a walk on Mondays is our active recovery day. Now, Wednesdays we go to spin class, and eventually we'll ride outside once it gets lighter. So I'm up outside sunrise. Now, if you're not, at least you can go outside and walk, but I go and run or do something outside, exercise. I noticed as I was this morning, Torrey Pines, a lot of people wear their sunglasses. Most everyone I saw, and it's 6:30 in the morning. I do not understand why people put sunglasses on when the sun's not even up that high, but for some reason they do. And I want to tell everybody, but I keep my mouth shut. It's great for your sleep if you just expose your eyes to that natural morning sunlight. But I don't, because I need to not say things to people all the time. So Huberman Lab Sleep Toolkit, it's a great thing to go do. So the link's in the show notes. Waking up the same time each day and going to sleep when you first start to feel sleepy is his other tip. Pushing through a sleepy late evening feeling, going to sleep too late is one reason people wake up at 3 a.m. and can't fall asleep. Also, if you wake up at 2 to 3 a.m., and a lot of people do, that's in Chinese medicine, liver time. So when I'm looking at people's NutriSense CGM monitor, I'm looking in their Aura Ring scores or Whoop, I'm analyzing correlations of their blood sugar and their HRV and their wake sleep cycle. And you can kind of see a lot. And then I look at their lab tests if they have inflammation in their body with GI map tests and their Dutch test and their blood chemistry tests if there's liver activity, liver congestion signs and symptoms. So there's a lot to it when you wake up middle of the night. It's a red flag. It means something's off, right? So just don't think you're normal, because you can do something about it. Okay. Avoid caffeine within 8 to 10 hours of bedtime. That Dr. Matt Walker, he says, might even suggest 12 to 14 hours. But Huberman says caffeine, 2 p.m., he feels fine, can go to bed at 10, 11. I have no caffeine after 11. Maximum weekends, like 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock is really late. Cold brew, I've had cold brew and I've been up all night long. So do not have cold brew at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's not good for me. If you have sleep disturbances, insomnia, or anxiety about sleep, there's a research-supported protocol Huberman always talks about on his Reverie app that his, I think, peers, someone at Stanford developed. The Reverie Sleep is a self-hypnosis program on an app 3 times a week that you can do anytime for 10 to 15 minutes to help rewire your nervous system to be able to relax faster. Okay, the other tip for sleep, avoiding viewing bright lights, especially bright overhead lights between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. I'm asleep. 8 o'clock I go to bed, by the way, and I get up at 4:30 a.m. I'm usually awake before an alarm goes off that I don't hear because it's under someone's pillow, but they tell me when it's wake up time, and I'm usually already awake. Okay, so don't be up looking light. I have my blue blockers on now, because more computer work I am, my eyeballs are burning. So I'm putting these on more often, but blue blockers can help a bit of bit at night, but still dim the lights. So my lights are even off here. The sun, oh, pretty sunset outside my window. Beautiful colors outside, but lights dim at night. I'd hate putting the bright lights on. You just feel feels wrong, right? When you put on bright lights at nighttime, it's bedtime, getting ready to sleep once the sun goes down. Your body needs to wind down. So viewing bright lights of all colors are a problem for your circadian system. Candlelight and moonlight are fine. You can look at a shift worker. If you have a job that you work overnight, you might want to listen to offsetting shift work negative effects for jet lag travelers I think Ben Greenfield's had many podcasts on that, and Huberman has one. Okay, limit daytime naps, less to 90 minutes, or don't nap at all. I usually don't have time or feel like it, but when I had my adrenal exhaustion, started 10 years ago, what I used to do every night or every afternoon, I come home and I have a nap, 30 minutes to an hour. I was exhausted. Remember that happens. Adrenal exhaustion is that compensatory phase of the HPA axis progression. So we get to, high cortisol to low cortisol in that progression. So you're in the adaptive phase. If you've got the high cortisol above normal ranges, and then you have low cortisol, you're in the compensatory phase. Your body's trying to do what it can to keep going. Now, I would nap, but I'd be awake in the middle of the night. So here's number 7. If you wake up middle of the night, by the way, is normal to do once or so each night. But if you can't fall back asleep, he considers doing NSDR protocol when you wake up. So you can enter in on YouTube NSDR, and the top 3 to 4 options have different voices and durations, or do a yoga nidra protocol. You can look on that on YouTube. Now, I do my breathing. I actually woke up last night. I was oddly awake. And I call the Ernie and Bert breathing exercise. I count breathing in, pause, breathe out, but do the box breathing, or just inhale, pause, exhale, and just counting the inhales and counting your exhales usually almost always puts me back to sleep. So something to think about. Now, sleep stacks before bed. Now, Huberman, if you listen to him, as I've been obsessed with his show lately, it is something you need to test one supplement at a time. And we do this as FDN practitioners. You're not going to take 5 new supplements at once. You don't know what works and what doesn't work. So you always sequence things in, ideally do one at a time. Notice if you feel better, different, worse, if you're going to continue or not. If it's good, okay, add in the next one. So layering in, sequencing, titration. Now, magnesium threonate or magnesium biglycinate is what he suggests. And then apigen and theanine is sleep stack for him. And a few nights a week, not every night, he takes glycine, 2 grams, and 100 milligrams of GABA. Now, I know clients, I have them do sleepy time tea. There's different things you can do. I try not to drink much liquids at nighttime because I'll go potty all night. So sipping on some tea earlier is good. Or I put almond tea in my water and sweetened, make sure I hydrate. Now, I already said that about supplementing, but some notes on there. All right, last few. Expect to feel really alert 1 hour before your natural bedtime. This is natural occurring spike in wakefulness that sleep researchers have observed, so don't freak out. Keep your room, probably by now, sleep hygiene routine to make today the best day ever. Remember, we're talking about how to make today the best day ever, and that's starting with morning sunlight and then sleep hygiene routine, what you're doing before bed. So how you start the day, how you end the day will optimize your sleep, and that will reduce stress, and that will help make today the best day ever. Now, dark, cold room. I wear eye mask. We have a heavy blanket. I'd like a chili pad, but I put a fan on, keep the windows open, gets fresh air in. And when summertime comes back and it's hot, ideally, that's when I'd like my chili pad and keep the bed cold. But keep your room cool and dark and layer in blankets that you can remove. So usually I start to bed cold and then I warm up. So you listen or read. Your body needs to drop in temperature by 1 to 3 degrees to fall and stay asleep effectively. Body temperature increases are one reason you wake up. And I'm 51 years old, and sometimes I wake up and I'm really hot. So who knows that hormones or what's going on. But if it's too hot, you would have to use a cooling device, and that's harder to simply toss up blankets if you get too warm. So sleeping in light clothes and having kind of a layering effect of a sheet and the heavy blanket and your quilt. You can throw off the quilt, and then I just have my little fuzzy blanket I like. So drinking alcohol, big thing if you want to have the best day ever. Avoiding alcohol would probably be good, but sleep medications he talks about as well, but drinking alcohol messes up your sleep. If you track Whoop and Oura Ring and listen to my previous podcast on heart rate variability scores, alcohol doesn't serve you many, if any, benefits. Maybe wine, polyphenols, but alcohol, not so good. And then talking about kids. And anyways, those are some great ones. So interview on what he does, I put in my show notes, but morning light therapy. So an article on how and why for morning light exposure. You want to get out in the sun. And I said this in the Huberman lab, but 30, 45 minutes in the sun, don't wear sunglasses, visor, get direct light, but not looking straight. So doesn't count when you're looking out of your window in your house or out of your car. Get outside. And it's great to get in nature. All right. Lastly, I won't go on anymore, but you can read the article. Aura has a great article, 10 tips for better, deeper sleep. So how to make today the best day ever is that you had amazing sleep last night. So give your screens a break at least 1 hour before bed. Stick to your reasonable bedtime, even on weekends. Find your ideal room temperature, 67 degrees. I like even colder than that. Save your large meals and heavy workouts for the daytime. Big one for me, I eat my main lunch meal, heavy meal at 3 p.m. If I get hungry later, I might have a little something as my probiotic yogurt I've been making from Dr. William Davis's book, Super Gut. Or a spoonful of nut butter if I feel a little hungry, or just have my amino acids. So it depends if I work out, and it depends day to day what's going on when your meal timing is, but it depends on your exercise schedule, I think. So large meals earlier in the day. Think Europeans. If you go to Europe, you have big lunch and then dinner is late. Somehow they can eat later there, but they wake up later. And, you're going to bed with a full stomach. Your body's working on digesting that food, not recovery, repair, detoxification. So that will disrupt your sleep if you're eating too close to bed. Elevated metabolism and heart rate can disrupt your sleep. So it's best to avoid exercise and heavy meals 3 hours before bed. So when I'm working with clients, I work on their ideal day schedule. What I'm doing with my VIP clients, let's look at, start going backwards. What time do you need to go to bed? What time do you wake up or need to wake up? Let's go backwards. What time do you need to go to bed? And then work backwards from there. What time do you need to get ready for bed? What time do you need to stop eating? What time do you need to shut off your electronic devices? Write it all out, make your plan. Schedule some time to unwind. As I said, not packing so much in the evening that you're trying to do yoga and sauna and doing your meditation breathing and doing your journaling and doing all this stuff. Then suddenly it's like, I don't have enough time to do it all. And then I'm stressed out. So slow down, push pause, reset, take a moment to regroup, and then make sure you have gaps in between things. I used to pack everything nonstop from morning to night. That was part of my stress. I was living life as a race, as I say. So it is important to put those little breaks in between there, so you're not packing too much into your day. So don't make all these stacks stressful, because it defeats the purpose. Okay, instead of drinking, get some extra sleep, some more on alcohol, more on not having the coffee late in the day, caffeine. Don't exercise late in the day again. So, it's the best time of day. You'll look at the circadian clock is like easy, fasted exercise in the morning. That's zone 1, zone 2. Your best time of day to do more interval intense workout and more complicated workouts, skill set, hand-eye coordination, everything's like 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So if you don't work at that time, it doesn't work for me. I have to work out in the morning, and then I can rearrange my work schedule. So I work, swim, and then I can do something at night, but I can't do hard workout at night. I can just do some heavy lifting, but nothing strenuous, no high heart rate workout intervals, no speed workout at night. I just don't work like that. I'm a morning person, obviously. So bedroom is for rest and recovery. So don't have TV in there. Don't be on your phone. Don't leave your phone in your bedroom unless it's family emergency. Put the phone and charge it in the kitchen, somewhere else. No Wi-Fi in your bedroom. Make sure it's just clean. No Wi-Fi, no bright lights, no flashing clocks. And, I got rid of a clock, and There's no lights on the ceiling and all this stuff that people have. And then they talk about naps. So those are some good articles. I did write in here what Ben Greenfield's ideal day is. And you can read that because I'm getting tired of talking. So Ben's workout, this always changes, but this is an example of his ideal day. And I'm sure it's changed since he wrote this, but his naked big Juve light panels for 20 minutes. So, that's when I read this stuff, and I love Ben, and I know he's evolved and he's always growing and changing, but there's a point where you're doing too many things. And I think you have to look at what I already said twice is, less is more, and really figuring out, are you doing too many biohacks to work on optimizing your sleep and longevity, recovery, repair, that you're causing more stress in your life? So again, more is not better. So don't try to do all of this. So there's good information in here. I also put in some stuff we can go on again, the whole question to eat or not to eat, and fasting, exercise in the morning. So head to debbiepotts.net. What is the ideal day? I put the links in the show notes. There's an article from, what's this called? Very Well. And then Sean Wells is seanwells.com. He has tons of great information. And Huberman Lab, you probably know, they have fitness toolkit protocol. We've got precision nutrition. They have intermittent fasting while working out. I want to go into another show. And then Huberman Lab's toolkit for sleep is amazing. So all this stuff's online, but I put it all in the show notes. So hopefully that helps you. And I need to get my time to unplug. See, now the lights are off. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to the Low Carb Athlete Podcast. If you have any questions, feedback, or topic suggestions, let us know on Facebook or at debbiepotts.net. You can help us to continue to grow by leaving a review on iTunes. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.